Okay, are you ready to show them this new project that we're doing?
Yes, I am.
Are you excited about it?
I'm very excited.
She has been working hard the last few days, working on this project herself, a few things, while I've been out trying to earn some money for the family, for the project, I should say. Is that right? Yeah, for the project. Anyway, what we've been working on here, folks, we've been working on the cabinets in the back. Let me step up here to the door, and a bit easier for you to see from here for now. And anyway, you can see the cabinet sitting there. Now the one that's next to the end of the trailer there, it has been secured. The one next to it there, which will be the sink cabinet, has not been secured yet, and there's a reason why. We'll talk about that here in just a little bit. Now over here you see the drawer cabinet on the opposite side. Now let's step on up in here. Now we got these cabinets, we decided to purchase them rather than try to build cabinets ourselves. And first I'll talk about this one here, this shorter one right here. Now that's where the refrigerator is going to sit. The refrigerator is going to sit on top of that one right there, and it's a 4 cubic foot refrigerator. It'll get it just high enough off of the floor so we can get to it real easily, and then still have some storage down below. Now there are doors that fit on the front of the cabinets, and we've got them off right now. Deb's been sanding on those and painting those as well. This one here that you see, let me move this out of the way for a moment. Set it over here. See if I can set it here without it falling. Yeah. This one here is the sink cabinet, and here again it's got 2 doors that go on there, but Deb's been working on those. Now this is pretty much going to end up being centered with the window right here. Now we have not got this one secured yet, and the main reason why is because I'm going to have to take it in and out a couple of times. I've got it in there just to utilize to get some measurements right now. What we're going to be doing is building, and we've already got one panel made, and we'll show you what we did, and then we're going to walk through how to do that. We're going to be manufacturing little partitions that go on either side of the end of the kitchen sink cabinet. There'll be a divider here that goes all the way up to the ceiling, and you can see that upright piece that I've got temporarily set in place right there. That represents how far, once it clears the cabinet, that represents how far the panel is going to come out from the sidewall, and it'll run all the way to the top. And the same thing will be over here on this side, on this end of the cabinet, and it will serve as a partition between the refrigerator cabinet and the sink cabinet, and it too will run all the way to the ceiling. And once it clears the top of the cabinet here, after we get the top on the cabinet, once it clears the top of the cabinet there, it will be cut back to 14 inches from the wall and run all the way to the ceiling, just as this one will be over here, all the way to the ceiling. And what that will eventually do, once we get those secured in place and get the tops on and everything, those will be what will support the overhead shelf that will be above the window. There is what those will be. I mentioned this already, but we got these cabinets at Surplus Warehouse here in Rogers, and based on their website, it appears that they have outlets throughout the southeast quarter of the country. So you might be able to find them in a place near you. The price altogether, by the time we bought all 3 cabinets, was roughly like $350 or so. We did compare these to inexpensive cabinets at Lowe's, and these do have a white oak face on them. Of course, they've been painted now, so you can't see that. But we compared these to inexpensive cabinets at Lowe's, and what I liked about these cabinets here over the ones at Lowe's are that the side panels, right here, the side panels are made out of plywood rather than particle board. The ones at Lowe's and Home Depot were particle board, and I'm not a particle board fan. Now, if you remember also, there is a there are furring strips running horizontally up and down the wall of the trailer, the full length of the trailer on both sides, and the front and the back for that matter. So what I had to do extra, I had to put an extra 1x4 in down there. See right down there, that one that's right there, and that corresponds with the furring strip that is behind the wall there. So when I do get ready to secure this cabinet, all I got to do is once I get it level with the floor and everything, then I will be able to secure it right to the wall, and of course we'll be securing it in a couple other spots as well. but I'll have something really good and sturdy to run a screw into, and it will hold it really good. I did that right here on this cabinet as well down there. Now this cabinet was originally, this little cabinet here was as tall as the kitchen sink cabinet and the drawer, but sorry for the noise, but I wanted to make it shorter, and we found it was actually cheaper to buy a cabinet that had a drawer on the top and door on the bottom, and simply cut the drawer section off. And that is what this is right here. That is the drawer section that I cut off. It wasn't anything difficult to do. I simply measured how far I wanted to go down, and basically what I did, I measured down to that cross piece there on the top of the cabinet, and I set up my table saw with my fence so that it would cut it right flush with the cross piece right there on the front of the cabinet, and took the door off of the cabinet, laid it up on the table saw, and ran around it. It was no big thing, and it come right off. But then of course we'll be putting our bar tops on that, you know, to support the refrigerator, and the top that goes on here to support the kitchen sink and everything. And those side panels that go up, like I say, will eventually support some overheads that go up here. So there you go. Now the drawer cabinet over here, same kind of deal. It is setting pretty, and we secured it to the wall, but we also squared it with the floor on the front and on the side. And keep in mind that when you're setting up at a site and you're leveling your trailer, you'll be leveling the floor of the trailer. Well, if you get the floor of the trailer level, then you're pretty certain that your bar top and your countertops are going to be level as well. This cabinet, we have it secured, and it's pretty much centered with this window, and Deb and I will be able to sit on either side of it with bar stools once we get the 5-foot long bar top on there, which will die at the bed right there at the bed frame. Once we get the top on there, then we'll have a 5-foot long bar top. We can sit there and have dinner. Of course, we'll have all the utensils and everything immediately available to us right there in the drawer cabinet in between. So that's how that goes together. Now these panels that we're making up, let me show you out here. We've put one together already, and we thought about how to do this, and we finally decided, and it was actually Deb's idea. She just come up with it. She asked me, what if? And I said, yeah, what if? That's a good idea. What we ended up doing, we bought 3/4 inch thick tongue and groove knotty pine, and it's smooth on one side and beadboard on the other side. And we're going to lay these panels out, and these came in planks, 8 foot long by almost 6 inches wide. And what we are doing is gluing them up together. And we've got this one, you can't see it right now because they're on the underside, but we've got some boards temporarily shot to the back side that are holding everything in place once we had glued it up in the joints and clamped it together. And that's how we're putting this together. But this is going to work out good. It's not going to be super heavy. It's going to support everything just fine. Plus it's going to add to our decor of the mixture of the nostalgia teal colors mixed in with the knotty pine, because we have the knotty pine tongue and groove on the ceiling, and then of course we have the pine looking floor that we did in our last video. So hopefully everything will tie in real well. So anyway, that's what we're going to do. So what we're going to do now is we are going to walk you through how we are putting these panels together. So give us just a little bit to set up, and we'll get right back to that, and be right back in just a little bit. Okay, we got all of our pieces cut here, and we're going to glue them all up here, and we'll show you how we're going to do this here. Now the longest point from the floor to the ceiling is 82.5 inches. So I cut my long pieces that will end up being the support for the overhead shelf. I cut them at 83 for right now, so I can trim them to fit. Now I need these. I cut here at 37. You can see right there. I cut those at 37 inches. Now I'm able to make these out of 4 boards 8 foot long, and in order to do that and have plenty of width on this inside piece right here, I had to put that in 3 pieces. Now it'll have 2 inseams, as you can see there, but after we get it all glued up and everything, that shouldn't be an issue. In addition to that, where that will end up is going to be at the end of a cabinet, so it won't even be seen. The only part that will be exposed is just a little bit up here at the very, very top, right in there. So there shouldn't be an issue at all with that. But that's how I was able to make that work, so it'll all come together. So now we're going to start gluing up the pieces, and we're going to start with this one right here, and let me get my glue over here. And let's see, we still got a little bit left in this one here, and I like the Titebond Premium. And let me step over here, Deb. Let me start from this end. Right here. And we're going to squirt some in the groove here. Make sure that that's getting in there. That looks better right there, I think. I'll squirt some in the groove here as we go along. Now it's very important that we orient these boards in such a way when we're putting them together so that the beadboard side will show on the inside towards the kitchen cabinet. And it just takes a little bit of forethought to do that. But taking the Titebond here, I'm a little messy here and there, as you can see. But fortunately it wipes off pretty good. While it's still wet. While it's still wet. Okay. Kept on wanting to come out afterwards, didn't it? All right, now we're going to simply lay this piece over and slide it into place for now. And these boards seem to fit pretty good. I'm going to have to put a clamp on them here in a little bit, but for right now we're just going to stick them together right quick. Get that. It's not there, got it. All right, for a minute there I thought I was going to have to persuade it with a rubber mallet. All right, I'll get the next one like that. See that? Now remember, these inseams are going to be hidden. You won't even see those. Well, you won't see it unless if you're in my trailer someday. And you won't even see it then. You won't see it because it's going to be hidden by the cabinets. Some of our viewers we would love to meet up with sometime. We've got a lot of very, very positive comments on several of our videos. Of course, with each video, we learn as we go on how to put them together, and I'm still experimenting with different methods of recording. Right now I'm using my chest mount with my GoPro Session 5, and I'm just kind of guessing if I'm getting everything in the picture really good. Usually this stuff aims it's pretty easy to aim the camera, and because it has on the wide setting, usually I'm finding that I can pretty much get to where I want. Now I want to make sure that I try to line these ends up as best as I can right here. Yeah, okay, one more to go. Man, this is coming together nice. Get this up here. But by and large, we have a lot of positive comments from the fans of our page. And we really appreciate that too. And we keep gaining new subscribers, and we really, really appreciate that. You have no idea how much we appreciate that. We never dreamed that there would be this kind of an interest. And of course, when this kind of an interest is shown, it inspires us to work harder at trying to improve our videos and trying to show you more about what we're doing. And hopefully we're getting there. I know we're not anywhere near where we want to be, but we're getting closer all the time. And all we ask of our viewers is to bear with us, and we'll get there. Yes, we will. All right. Now, all the panels. Now, surprisingly, this stuff, I'd have thought that I'd really have to work on it to get it to fit together. But the boards are reasonably straight. We're not having any real issues with anything. And I'm going to double check one little thing here right quick. Make sure I got this bottom fairly square, because I really don't want to have to trim that if I don't want to, if I don't have to. That way. Lay that in. Well, there we go. And yeah, not bad. Not bad at all. I'm happy with that. I'm okay with that. All right, now what we're going to do is we're going to lay some clamps on here. And no, I'm not taking extra precautions with little blocks and things like that because these edges, for the most part, will be trimmed off. Main thing I want to do for the moment is get them squeezed together here temporarily, and then I'll show you what I'm going to do. Oops. Let me get that up there where it's on that a little better. It wants to pull off of it. I may have to turn. Yeah, I got to go the other way here. Let's turn these around. Yeah, let's go this way.
That's why I'm doing that way.
Okay. Well, you were thinking ahead, weren't you?
I was trying.
I should have listened to you. I should have.
You've got that on record, right? He should have listened to me.
Whatever. I listen to her a lot more than she indicates, folks. Where's that rubber mallet right quick? Let me see if I can tap that a little tighter right in there. This one here. I know it's not going to be seen, but I'm still a little picky about it. Okay. Let's get that square with it here. Get up there. These are cheapy Harbor Freight clamps. My wife just sighed. She didn't like it because I called them cheapy Harbor Freight clamps. They've been serving my purpose very good. So I'm not, definitely will not complain about them at all. And I'm not, putting a death grip on these or anything, just enough just to close them up good. And have we got another clamp? I want to put 3 on this part here because it's a longer section. Thank you, baby. You know what I deserve after all this?
Beer? I'm going to have a beer.
You're going to have a beer?
I'm going to have a beer.
Beer.
Sorry. Sorry.
Now they know that you like to drink beer now and then. What are we going to do? I don't drink beer, folks. Do I, dear?
No.
Nope. Oh, I drink a beer now and then. Come on. Yeah, thank you. I needed an extra set of hands there. Let's get a better shot right there. Okay, now we've got it clamped together here, and I don't want to leave these clamps on it forever, and I don't really have to because it went together really, really good. So here's what I'm going to do. These are some scrap pieces of the stuff we put on the ceiling. They're 1/4 inch thick, and I cut them to fit here. And remember, this is going to be to the inside. This side will be to the inside of the refrigerator, towards the refrigerator, so it won't really be seen. And what I'm going to do now, I'm going to shoot, and this is temporary, but I'm going to shoot some 3/4 inch long staples on each plank. And what little hole these staples make, they are not going all the way through because they're 3/4 inches long, and the material, the actual wall material is 3/4 of an inch thick, and then you've got the 1/4 inch of the plank here. But what that will do is hold it in place until it sets up, till the glue sets up. And let's see, we can move this one. Move this one over here. That'll be plenty right there. glue sets up, we'll pry these off, and what little bitty holes they left, we can fill them, sand it, and you'll never know. Of course, like I say, it's really not going to be visible anyway, because that goes to the inside, and we oriented these that way on purpose so that we could shoot these in here. Now what we're going to do right quick is take the clamps off and turn this over just to make sure that we have got any glue residue that might have oozed out cleaned off. You're doing good. You're getting them done before me. There.
Looking forward to that beer.
You looking forward to that beer? Yeah, after we get this done, we're going to take a break. We're going to let these set overnight, and then we're going to catch up with everybody in the morning. All right, now we're going to flip it over, and these will hold it in place just fine. See, it's holding it in place just fine. Now, we flip it over, double check, because this is the side that will be visible, and we check for any glue residue, and I see a little bit here and there, not a whole lot. And get that all, isn't that pretty? That is really pretty. And well, we get a coat of polyurethane on that, man, that is gonna pop like crazy, I think anyway.